everybody, this is Michelle with Creative Operation and Country Craft Creations, and I'm here today to share with you some of the different gift boxes that I have come up with using the We Are Memory Keepers Explosion board. This board is a really fun tool, and it does more than just make explosion boxes. This thing can do a whole bunch of stuff, and I have been playing with different ideas on different things to do with it. I've done a couple tutorials already. I've got a bunch more coming, but today we're going to kind of focus on some gift box ideas that I came up with. So this explosion board, it is on order. Country Craft Creations will have it, so keep checking countrycraftcreations.com and get it. It is really a fun little tool. It makes making explosion boxes like a super breeze because it is just perfectly lined up, ready for you to go. So you have all the score lines here, and it's a piece of cake. You just cut out the paper that you need for the box, follow the appropriate score lines, and you're good to go. I did do a tutorial on how to use this board, and you can see that in my video list. Today we're going to focus on how to use it to make different sized boxes, because it does more than just a 4x4 box. It does more than an explosion board. So I figured out how to make an 8x8 by 2-inch tall gift box, and I did this one, decorated it for Valentine's Day, and it would make a really nice size gift box, you know, for any occasion, but since Valentine's Day is coming up. And then I figured out how to make a 6x6 by 3-inch tall box. So totally a versatile tool. And then also, you know, you can make a 4x4 box, which is kind of the standard biggest extra large box that you can make according to this explosion board. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to stick these off to the side for a second, and let's start with what should we start with? Let's start with the 4x4 gift box, because this is kind of like the kind of basic box that you can make with this board, okay, without, you know, my alterations. So for a gift box that's 4x4x4, you're going to basically make the extra large box. And the lid for this, now the lid measurements are different than the lid measurements here, and the reason why I did that, so when you're making an explosion book or explosion box that you want all the leaves to pop out and you've got things on them and everything, you need more leeway in the lid to keep everything in together, because otherwise you're not going to be able to put a lot of pattern papers and, you know, put pictures and all the little fun things that you can do on the pages of an explosion box album. So that's why these lids sizes are perfect for doing an explosion box, but they're a little too big to do a gift box. So I altered the sizes a little bit. So kind of ignore the lid charts for right now. We're going to focus on something different. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a 12x12 paper. We're going to make an extra large box. Okay. So you're going to take your papers, and we're going to put your 12x12. They're always 12x12. These three boxes I'm going to show you. And for this one, since it's 4x4, the extra large line is at 4 inches. So we're just going to score it 4 all the way around. Okay? All the way around. 4x4x4. So you're going to end up with a grid with 9 squares. Okay? So that is the box. Then what you're going to do is, instead of doing, unless you want a box that actually explodes out, which I'm going to show you later, you don't need to do the diagonal score that's on here. Okay, we're going to ignore that for now. We're going to do the pinwheel cut, and we're going to make tabs, and then what that's going to do is help reinforce this box. Okay, so we're just going to do a cut up the score, and then we're going to cut a triangle out, a small one, and you're going to end up with a tab. And then, so when I mean pinwheel, we're going to do this, then we're going to turn it, and we're going to do it right there again. And then that way, all 4 tabs will actually reinforce all 4 sides of this box. Now, as the boxes get different sizes that aren't square, like the other ones that I'm going to show you, you know, that's not going to reinforce the entire side, but it will reinforce some of it. So anyway, it's just kind of a habit to get into, I guess, with these boxes, is to do the pinwheel kind of cut. So I'm going to just do that to all 4 sides. All of the boxes are made the same, so I'm not going to really show you how to make every single box, because otherwise this video is going to take way too long. So what we'll do is I will finish them and take pictures, and then, well, I'm not sure how I'm going to do it. Why don't we just scratch that and reverse it for just now. This is the 3rd tutorial I'm filming today. I'm trying to get a bunch of them done while I have free time. So you have your pinwheel cuts. Then you're going to fold and burnish all of your scores. Now this is a gift box, so we're going to cover everything with pattern paper as well. So that's why I've got all my parts and pieces kind of ready to go. Okay, so once we fold and burnish all 4 sides, then what we're going to do is we're going to cover the outside. And I've got my papers, so you're going to cover all 4 pieces. So just grab your glue and your papers. The box is 4 by 4. I cut my papers at 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. All right. And then just mat your pages. Make sure, if you're using an orientation, to you know, make sure your papers are going in the correct direction. So when your box folds up, like for example, I'm using hearts on this one, you know, your hearts are all facing in the proper direction. The paper pack that I'm using had pretty much everything was directional, which made it a little difficult when I was getting down to scraps, because you know, scraps are really awesome for use on the lids, because the lid lips, you know, the lid sides, you need a 1-inch strip of paper to, you know, pattern paper to cover it. So it's a nice way to use up, you know, some of that. Okay, so we're going to do this, and then the bottom doesn't really matter because it's the bottom, but I'm going to go ahead and put paper on it because I want to reinforce it. Make sure the bottom is nice and sturdy. All right. So once we do this, then we're going to turn it over. And this one doesn't really matter where the direction is because it's on the bottom, so we'll just put it down. All right, so then we're going to turn it over, and then what we're going to do is I'm going to cover the bottom with pattern paper, and then we'll build our sides. Okay, just like this. Now I'm pretty sure in the first video I talked about how to make these boxes, but I don't think I actually showed you how to make the boxes, so that's why we're doing this today. And then I've got a couple more ideas for you, so we're going to try and get through this so this tutorial is not too terrible long. Okay, so then you're going to put your sides together like so. So you can see the sides are going to be pretty good reinforced with 2 layers of cardstock and a layer of pattern paper. Okay, so that's good. It's hard to see, and these tabs are pretty big, you know, but if you want a nice sturdy box, then it's going to work out pretty good. Okay, put it there, gonna squish it down. Okay. Then here it gets a little tricky. You gotta make sure your box sides are in, And then we'll put some glue down. All right, like that. Okay, almost there with my next piece. So this is how you make the boxes. They're all the same. We're gonna cut all the little tabs exactly the same. There we go. And you're gonna put them together all exactly the same for these three, okay? So now we have our box. So I will skip putting the inside papers in for now, but this is where you would go ahead and just glue those down, put those in there, okay? So I'm just gonna put these off to the side for just a second. And then let's look at the lid. Just put those in there. Let's look at the lid. So for the 4x4x4, now remember, this is a different size than this lid because we want it to fit a little more snug since it's a gift box. It's not an explosion album. So you want a 6 3/8 by 6 3/8 piece of paper. We're gonna put it in our explosion board and we're gonna score it on the lid. Okay, all four sides, score on the lid, and then you're going to do your pinwheel cuts again. Okay, and we're gonna do the same exact process for this box. Well, this box lid, I should say, okay? So, all the way around, all the lids are the same. Measurements obviously are different, but we're going to create them all the same for these three sizes. All right. So, fold and burnish. Fold and burnish. Okay. So this makes a nice box. This would hold a really nice candle. Could hold nuts, candies. Could hold all kinds of stuff. Alrighty, so I'm gonna do, was it this one for the outside? No, that was for the inside. This, I have a plan. Trust me on this one, I have a plan. I'm really not sure what it is, but I guess it doesn't matter. Okay, so we're gonna cover the outside again with our pattern paper. And again, because it's directional, make sure when the box gets folded up, you know, you got to make sure the hearts are all going in the right direction. But the lid, the box pieces fold, you know, down. So you got to make sure that when those lid pieces go down, that they're all in the correct direction. Okay, we'll do that. We'll do this. It's gonna be cute. It's gonna be really super cute. Then I'm gonna have a ton of Valentine's boxes I better fill up and give away. Because I'm going to end up with like 5 of them once I get done with all this project. But all right. Okay, so then turn it over and we're going to go ahead and put our pattern paper on the inside lid. Like so. All right, so this inside lid, it measures 4 1/8 by 4 1/8. So I cut my papers at 4 by 4, and we're gonna make our lid, glue all the tabs in place. All right. So just the same process, whether it's a lid or a box. pretty easy. Okay. And we'll turn that, put this together. I will do the rest of the pattern paper later so we can kind of hustle through this. Because I know y'all know how to put on pattern paper, and I forgot to put my tab in, so that's why you gotta kind of make sure your little tabbies are in on the last two. That one's not sticking out because you need it on the inside in order to close it. All right, and then I've got my papers cut, so we're gonna go ahead and put those on later. But then you can see, so you have your lid and you have your box, and it's a nice tight fit. Well, not super tight, but tight enough to where it's not too big. The explosion box lids are bigger. They're 1/4 of an inch bigger instead of 1/8 of an inch bigger, and it does make a big difference when you have pages that you're trying to contain. But this is a gift box, so we don't have to contain pages. So there you go. So this is the 4x4 gift box. Okay, so now let's look at the 6x6x3, and let me find that one. That one is here. All right, so 6x6x3 box is going to be done in the exact same method. Okay, so for the box, you will need a 12x12 piece of paper. Okay, and you're going to put it in your scoreboard, and you're going to line it up. It's a 12x12 paper for the 6x6x3 box. You're going to put it in here, and you're going to score on the medium line. The medium line is 3 inches. Okay, so 3 inches all the way around, all 4 sides. Okay, then you're going to do the cuts again, and you're going to put your box together. Okay, so that is all you have to do for the 6x6x3. Now the lid for it, you want to cut a piece of paper that's 8 3/8 by 8 3/8. All right, this is for the 6x6x3 box, and we're going to score it on the lid line. All of them are scored on the lid line. Okay, score it all the way around, and then you're simply just going to put it together just like I did the 4x4 box. It's just going to be different dimensions. So make sure that you have your paper dimensions appropriate. So there you go. The lid will end up being 6 1/8 by 6 1/8. The box is 6x6. It's going to fit perfectly just like this. Okay? So I hope that makes sense. So again, a 12x12 piece of paper, put it on your scoreboard, score it on the medium, and then you need an 8 3/8 inch by 8 3/8 inch. And you're going to put it in your scoreboard and score it on the lid, and you're going to simply make your box. Okay, and you will end up with a box that's 6x6x3. All right, then for your large box, okay, so for your large, oops, get my papers out of the way. I was gonna divide this up into a bunch of different tutorials, but I think I'm going to keep them together because I can. All right, so let me get this out of the way. All right, so for the large gift box, which is the 8x8x2, 8x8x2, that's a nice size gift box, you're going to need a piece of pattern paper that is 12x12, or pattern paper, cardstock. You're going to need cardstock. Now, you could use pattern paper. If you don't want to do all the papering, you totally could. This is a gift box. It's probably not going to be used for a whole lot afterwards or whatever. But if you want it nice and sturdy, you should use cardstock and then put pattern paper on it. It will make it nice and sturdy. People can keep it. They can use it, do other things with it. Okay, so the 8x8x2 box, you need a 12x12 piece of paper. You're going to put it in your scoreboard. You're going to score it at the extra small line. That is a 2-inch line. Okay, that's going to give you your 2-inch side. So do that all the way around. And then you're going to, for the lid, get a 10 by 3/8 by 10 let me say that again, 10 3/8 by 10 3/8, and you're going to put this in your scoreboard, and you're going to score on the lid line again, okay? All right, so again, your 12 by 12 paper, you're going to score on the extra, extra small line, and your lid, 10 3/8 by 10 3/8, and you're going to score on the lid line. Put them together exactly how we did the 4x4 box. It's just going to be a little different size, but you're going to do the pinwheel cuts just exactly as we did before. And you'll end up with all these pretty sized boxes. So that's how you get different sized gift boxes with this scoreboard. Now, let's talk about a different kind of box. I was playing with, where is it? Let me put this away. So my brain was kind of going crazy. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create a pizza box, okay? And it opens like a pizza box, has a hinged lid, and then I made different configurations for dividers that can go inside the box, and then you can use this for storage. You can give it as a gift for those who are in swaps, doing embellishment swaps and stuff like that. This would make a really cute little gift box for that. So let me show you how I put that together, the box, and then I'll show you how I did the dividers, okay? This is really a fun little project here. So for the boxes, you are going to need 2 pieces of cardstock that are 6.5 by 6.5. So what we're doing is we're making 2 extra, extra large lids. That's what we're doing. So if you have your 6.5 by 6.5 inch piece of paper, then what we're going to do is, I tried to prepare some of the things here, for the bottom part of the box, which is right here, you're going to want to make the actual lid, the whole complete lid. So you're going to put your 6.5 by 6.5 in, and you're going to score on the lid lines all the way around, all 4 sides, and then you're going to do your pinwheel cuts to make your box, okay? So then what you're going to do is you're going to take your other 6.5 by 6.5, you're going to put it in here, you're going to score it the same on all 4 sides, again, on the lid line, but we're going to make a couple different cuts. So you're going to want to cut the squares completely out of this piece right here at the top lid part, or the, I guess the back, because this is going to attach to this. And then we're going to create 2 tabs to connect the sides. So let's put this away. Let's start with the box. Let's go ahead and fold and burnish all of our score lines. And we've already cut our tabs, so that's good. We need our tabs to create our box. Like that, okay? Then what we're going to do is we're going to fold and burnish our score lines here. Like that. Okay. Just like that. Okay, so on these corners here where we cut out the squares, you might want to miter just a little bit. So we just completely cut out those squares created with the scores, and then we're going to miter just a little bit. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take this and you're going to glue it to the back. You're going to glue these 2 pieces together. So that's going to create the lid, okay? And then we're going to go ahead and put pattern paper on it. It's a little easier to do when it's flat, I found. Made a couple of them, so I'm just going to put that down. I'm going to match this up. Don't get it in the score. How many times have y'all heard that, huh? Don't get it in the score. All right. All right, so it's going to be glued down. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cover the back, or the outside, I should say, with our pattern paper. What we're going to do is put our pattern paper on our box. So I'm going to do the outside first. And I think I kind of tricked myself with all my pattern papers, but I think I got it figured out. Okay, so the outside lid, make sure, because this is actually the top of the box that's going to fold over. So put that on there. And then I'm going to use 4 strips that are the same, because the outer box, you're going to want all the strips to match. Okay. There we go. Okay. So I'll do that. Pretty much exhausted this pack of paper that I had with this tutorial, trying to get all these gift boxes ready to show you. So now you could make this pizza box idea with any of the boxes, but this will just give you the bigger box, and it'll be 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 by 1 1/8 inch tall. So it's, you know, it's a pretty good size. It's nice little gift box. Okay, so that, if you can imagine, is going to fold up, and that's going to be the top of the box. Okay, so now the bottom of the box, we're going to go ahead and do that. Now the bottom of the box doesn't, you know, it's, if you want the orientation proper, so if you have directional paper, which is, you know, fun, I'm going to go ahead and just flip that over and just make sure that I have it in the orientation that I want. Okay. And then I'm going to put my 3 sides on. You only need 3 sides for this, and they're going to fold up. So I want to make sure my orientation is right. Okay, so it is a lot easier to use non-directional paper, ladies and gentlemen. Trust me on this one. This was probably a mistake to use this paper, but it was so cute. And I thought, well, Valentine's Day's coming up. I'm gonna need some gift boxes, so there we go. And then all right, so the bottom of the boxes will fold up, so make sure that happens. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now you have like the outside of your box covered. Now let's put the papers on the inside. So we have our bottom here and our top here. And then we will make our box. And this will make a super cute pizza box. So I don't know if any of you are already figuring this, but with the measurements that I gave you for the 8x8 box or the 6x6 box, you could probably do this too. So just a thought. All right, so now we have to build our sides. So the bottom box needs to be a box. okay? The lid has to be, it's only basically connected on two sides up here at the top, okay? So these are gonna fold down and connect like so. And then the rest of it is going to make the bottom box. So let's go ahead and just do this. Put our glue on. Hold that for a second. And then put our glue on. Okay. And then let's go ahead and make our box. So these tabs, let that fall back, they're gonna just glue to create the bottom box. So this is where some clamps are gonna help, because this gets a little, you know, heavy as far as, you know, but it is easier to do, I think, the papering before you actually fold up the box, as much as you can get done. And this one we're not going to be able to clamp, but you can hold it for a sec. Line up your edges, make sure they're nice and flush. Okay. Actually, I might be able to clamp it. Maybe. Nope. I thought maybe I could squeak it in, but I'm not. Okay. So I'll clamp that one. And then, oops, look, I did it again. I'm trying to get all these tutorials done because I have the time today. So I was like, I don't know when I'm going to be able to do it later. See how cute this is? Okay. Make sure that's done. These should be good. All right. So then that simply will just close, and you will have this cute little pizza gift box. Is that not cute or what? So now the other thing you can do, you could, because I had a couple ideas, you could put a little knob here or something like that that will show that that's where you open it. And you could, you know, like punch a hole, the ones that, you know, have a hole that you can punch in and then screw the knob in. You could put a piece of ribbon on here to help pull it up. You could punch a circle to have like a thumb pull. However you want to do that to help it open. But there it is. There's your little pizza box. So I will cover the insides with this later, but let's get to the dividers. So I'm going to put those off to the side for just a second. So these dividers, so I know that there are dividers that, you know, like you just cut the paper and stick them together, but they're wobbly, and I didn't like that. So I started playing with some ideas on how to do this. So this one, you will need, it doesn't use the scoreboard as far as the explosion scoreboard, but it will use a regular scoreboard. So here's what we're going to do. So first off, we're going to work with this two-part divider, which is the super simple, easy way to do it. So you're going to need a piece of paper that's 4 1/8 by 6 1/8. Now this box is 4 1/4, but I needed a little wiggle room for it to make sure that it works right and that it fits in nice, so you can put it in and take it out if you want to. You can also glue it down if you wanted to, but these are reversible or removable, excuse me. So I just took a little 1/8 of an inch off, okay? And then what I did was I wanted an inch tab, so I had to add 2 inches for that. So 4 1/8 plus 2 inches is 6 1/8. That's how I got the measurement for this. And then what you do is you put it in your scoreboard, and what I did is I lined it up so that I could make really darn sure that I was like right in the middle. So I put it, where did I do this? Okay, so I put it in my scoreboard. It's gonna go a wee bit past, you know, the 3-inch mark here. So I lined it up the best I could, like right in the middle, and I scored it down the 6. That's why I have that red line or that pink line down my scoreboard. So that's kind of like the midline here. And then I went 1 inch on either side. and then you just fold it like that. All right, and then all I did, and you can totally paper it first if you want. I'm not going to paper it on camera because that's just going to take a lot of time, and I want to show you all these things. But just go ahead and burnish that down, glue it down, all right? And you have a divider, done. Now, if you want to put it in your box and glue it down, even better because it's nice and sturdy and it will be really good. Then just take your pattern papers, and I just chose these, and I'm going to lay those down. You can pattern your box however you want it, and then you have a pretty divider for your box. Now this one, this is a 2-compartment divider, and it is a little, you know, wobbly, but that's okay. That's okay. But let me show you how to make the sturdier one, and I'll show you how to do a 3-compartment one. So this one's the easy one. This one's like super, super simple. The next one is the 3-compartment one. So it has a longer side, the 2 shorter side. And this one here is a square. And it's going to be 6 1/8 by 6 1/8. Okay. So again, I did the whole width of 4 1/8, and I added 2 inches in the middle for the divider, but I need it on all 4 sides because we're going to kind of squish this up, and I'll show you how we're going to do that. So what I did was I cut it 6 1/8 by 6 1/8. I lined it up, made sure I was right smack dab in the middle. It's going to be a little bit past the 3-inch mark, a little bit past this 9-inch mark where I have a 3 up here too. So right in the middle, and I scored it down the middle, and then I scored 1 inch on each side. So that's going to give me the height that I need for the divider. Then I'm going to turn it around, and I'm going to do the same thing, okay? So line it up, score in the 6, inch before, inch after, okay? So then what we're going to do is I'm going to fold it completely in half, and then I'm going to take my scissors, and I hear gasping, and then I'm going to cut up that score. And I know that this is in black, and it's hard to see, and I'm sorry, but that's why I'm talking a lot through it. So we're going to cut up the 2 outside score lines so that, and you're not going to go past that other score line. You're just cutting those 2 square pieces right there, okay? So we folded it in half, and we cut that one, and we cut that one. Then you're going to open it up, and you're going to fold it in half the other way. We're going to fold and burnish. This is how you're going to cut the middle square out, those middle 4 squares out. And then we're going to keep them, though, because we're going to use them. This is how we're going to make this sturdy. All right? So we're going to do that. We're going to cut that completely out. Okay? So you have now the 4 square scored piece. Take this guy, cut it in half, fold it, and we're going to make connectors out of it. So I'm just going to make like little tabs. All right, so you're going to end up with a piece that kind of looks like that. So fold it and then make little connector tabs. All right, just like that. Keep those. So now you have a piece that looks like this. All right, so for the 4 square one, what you're going to do is you're going to fold this up, and then you're going to squish this up, and that's going to make your divider. So let's fold and burnish our lines. We're still going to do the 3-part one, I promise. Ah! All right. All right. So what we're going to do, if you squish all those up, so you do your divider pieces up and you squish this together, this is going to be the 4 4-part divider right here, okay? So actually, let's just do the 4-part divider first since we're already there, and then I'll show you how to alter this to make the 3-part, okay? So with this, you also need another piece of cardstock, which I didn't cut. So hang on just a second, and it doesn't have to be perfect, but we do need another piece of cardstock. So I'm going to cut a piece that's like 7/8 of an inch by 4. Okay. All right. So let's backtrack. We're going to do this 4 square piece first since we're kind of there anyway. Okay. So we have a square. We're going to fold these up, and that's going to be our dividers. So in order to get them to stick together and to be sturdy, because you can see this isn't moving very much, it's not floppy. Oh, hi buddy. Hold on just a second. I'm gonna have to let my doggy out. Okay, so you're gonna turn your piece over. You're gonna grab your little connectors, put some glue on, and we're gonna glue these together. So this is a little fiddly, but you're just going to glue it like right so that we can actually use it for like a tab. All right, and I tried to figure out how to do this without too much trouble. I think this was like the easiest way to do it. And then, okay, so you have the tab that's glued on one of the inside pieces, because that's going to fold up like that, and it's going to fold down like that, okay? And it's going to create that kind of box shape on the other side, okay? So we did that. Let's go ahead and glue that down. It is a little fiddly. Uh-oh. Come on, glue. All right, and just make sure that this is nice and lined up, and then glue that down. So it's going to create that box. Hope that makes sense. Okay. Then what you're going to do is grab your other little tab, and you're going to do it on the opposite side. So we're going to put glue on one side. So we're going to do, we did this box here. We're going to do this one up here in the upper left corner. So I'm just going to line that score up to the edge. Like that. And then I'm going to put more here. And then I'm going to wrap that around and create that box. And make sure it's nice and lined up. And it's glued from the inside, okay? So when you turn it over, when you squish it down, okay, so the tabs are on the inside. So it's created one box here and one box here in opposite corners. So then we're going to glue those together on both sides. Okay. So now what we've done is we've just glued that side together. I hope this makes sense, guys. This is actually pretty cool. All right, and we're going to glue this side together. A little glue there. Okay, holding that shut. Okay. So now what we have when we squish this together, so we still have the middle part that we need to fix. That's where this guy comes in. And actually, we might not even need that. Oh, yes, we do. Yes, we do. Never mind. Yes, we do. So we're going to grab this piece that we cut. It's 7/8 of an inch by 4, so it's a little bit less than the box. And we're going to put this in here like so, and glue that down. Make sure everything's nice and tight together. And then we're going to glue this side down, and we are going to have a divider. And this divider will be nice and sturdy. and it will be where it's not going to wiggle. Okay, there you go. So you have a divider. So that's how you make the 4-part divider. All right, and then just cut your pattern papers, and you can decorate it as you want. Now, if you want to, you can totally put the pattern paper on before you build it, but that's how you do it. Okay, so that's the 4-part one. Then let's go backtrack to the 3-part divider. Because we're gonna do the same exact thing. You're gonna have a 6 1/8 by 6 1/8 piece of paper, and you're going to score it all exactly the same. So line it up, make sure you're right in the middle, because it's gonna be a little bit, you know, past the 3-inch mark. It's gonna be like 3 1/16. So do it in the middle, 1 inch on either side, okay? And then you're going to fold and, okay, fold it both ways in the middle, and then, you know, it is easier if you just fold these back the opposite direction while we're doing it on the outer scores, okay? So then fold it, and you're gonna cut that score out again. So you're just gonna go up the score line, cut out the 4 middle squares. Okay, so just cut up to here, okay, just like that, and then open it, fold it, cut out the score. There we go. Pop that out. Okay, and we're going to save this. We're going to make some connectors. So cut up the score, make your tab, make your tab. Okay. All right, so we have our connectors. These are the only 2 connectors you need really for this one. Okay, so we've got our piece scored, okay, but we need to take out this section right here because that has to be like that. So what we're going to do is we're just going to create a tab. So split this right up the middle, okay, and cut one of them out. Doesn't matter which one, whichever one you feel like cutting, doesn't really matter. You only need one, okay, and then the other one, create a tab. Okay, so now you should have a piece that looks like this. Okay, so we're gonna fold this up. The tab's gonna go underneath. It's gonna glue down to the other square, and that's what's gonna create your 3 dividers. All right, so we're gonna turn this over, and you're gonna use the connectors, but this time you're gonna connect these 2 right here. You're not gonna do the opposite thing that we did with the 4, okay? So we're going to put the little glue on here, and I'm gonna line that up. Okay, oops, that out of the way. So we're just gonna create those 2 boxes. Hope this makes sense, guys. If you have any questions, please let me know. I've come up with so many ideas with this thing. Okay, so we've made one of the boxes. Okay, so we're gonna make the other. So we're gonna just do the opposite one, you know, or the next one right next to it. Same thing, connector. Okay, line that up to the score. Put some more glue on. All right. Okay, so here we are. So we put that on there, and then we're gonna fold it. It's gonna create our box. Make sure that's nice and tight to create that box. Okay. All right, so that's where we're at now. So we've just created those 2 boxes. Then this piece here, so it's going to fold like that. All right, so let's go ahead and glue that tab to, is that how I want to do that? Actually, let's do this. Let's glue these together because that'll help us make sure we got it nice and square. So let's glue those together. So we'll make our 2 section piece. Okay, like that. And then we're going to glue these down. Make sure that your tab is underneath, so make sure that that's down there. And then we'll just pinch those down because we're going to try and keep this as square as absolutely possible. When I did my demo, I kind of got it a little bit crooked because I didn't do this part first. Okay. All right, so there is that. All right, and then we're just going to glue down onto the tab. Okay, and if you want to use your scoreboard to kind of line it up, make sure everything's nice and square, you can do that. And if you need to do some tweaking or trimming, you can totally do that. And I think I do need to do that just a little bit, just kind of square it up just a little bit. And there you go. So then when you use your pattern papers, when you cut your pattern papers, you're going to cut a piece that will go over this side. And, ooh, I cut them a little bit too long, or too wide. Anyway, you get the idea though. That's going to cover that up, and the bottom one is going to cover that up. And you're going to be good to go with a 3-part divider that looks like that. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Yeah, I do. I hope it makes sense. But that's how you can make a 3-part divider. So I did that. I will pattern paper those later because I want to show you some other things. So let me get this mess cleaned up and let's get the next part. Okay, so now this is this little organizer that I made, but the fun part about this is a double use project because it can also be a gift box as well with 4 little compartments. But this one was super easy. I was just playing with squares and the boxes and just trying to see what else I could do with them. So basically this project, this little mini gift box and or organizer, uses one extra large lid. So you'll make one just like the board says, using 6.5 by 6.5 paper, and put it in here and score it on the lid. So you just create the box. And then I made 4 extra small boxes. So you cut your paper 6 by 6, score on the extra small box, and then put those together. So I did that. Let's go ahead. I made 3 of them already. And here is my, okay, so here is my 6 by 6 square piece of paper. So it only requires, 2 pieces of cardstock to make this whole thing. But 6 by 6 to make the box, score at extra small. Okay, make all your boxes. You'll need 4 of them, and then we're going to do, the whole pinwheel cut thing. All right. So I'm going to do that super quick, use pattern paper, and we're only going to put pattern paper on the inside. because we're going to do the outside just a wee bit different. Okay, so I'm just doing my pinwheel tabs to make the box. So this is super, super cute project because you could make it as an organizer. You could make it as a gift box that turns into an organizer later. It's super, super cute. And it's 2 inches tall, which is nice because it's a little bit deeper than like the pizza box that I made. It holds a little bit more, height-wise anyway. Okay, so we did our pinwheel cuts. We're going to go ahead and fold and burnish our score lines. Like that. Then we're going to cover the inside. So we're going to do the bottom first, and then we're going to make our box and then cover the sides. So we're going to do that. And then I think after this one, I have one more idea to show you, and then I'm done for today. I have done all my tutorials that I wanted to film today, so I just have to edit and hope that I didn't confuse anybody too much. Then I can eat. I'm starting to get hungry. I can tell. I'm getting jittery. All right. So just make your box. Okay. Okay. Oh, I did it again. Gosh. How come you all are out there yelling at me too, aren't you? I wish I could hear you. Put the tab on the inside, Michelle. Come on. See, I told you I was getting hungry. So I'm going to just put glue on these. Of course, if you really wanted to, you could do these boxes. You could do the tabs on the outside too. It doesn't really matter either way. Personal preference. Okay, so then I have my little squares. So these boxes end up being 2 by 2 by 2. So I just cut my papers at 1 7/8 by 1 7/8. Just to cover them. Okay. Okay. Almost there. Once we get the pattern paper on the inside, I'll show you how to put these boxes together. Then you just need to make a lid. That's all that you need to do. You just need to make an extra large lid using 6.5 by 6.5 and make it as you would make any other lid. Just cover it with the pattern paper and create that, and then that's what these sit in, and that's like super done. It's easy and done. If you glue these boxes down into the lid, obviously you can't use it as a gift box, but if you leave them separate from the lid and don't glue them down, then you either get, you can have an organizer, or you can have, and a gift box if you don't glue it down. So you can do both. So I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So that's what I did. Okay, so once you get these down, make sure that everything lines up, and then I'm going to use this because I can help square things and squish them together easier. So I'm just going to glue these boxes together. That's all I'm going to do right now. I just put a little glue on the box there, and then I'm going to line this one up and squish it together. This way it stays nice and flush. Use a couple clips. Just make sure I get it so that my patterns are all going in the same direction. Okay, well, that's lined up top, bottom, side to side there. Squish that together, get a couple clips. And last but definitely not least, and again, make sure your patterns match what you're doing. Okay. I'm going to squish that in there. All right. It should line up nice and flush. As long as you make sure you cut your papers, as perfectly as you possibly can. So let's do this. Let that sit for a minute. Okay, so then what I did was I just covered everything with patterned paper as if it was one great big box instead of 4 separate boxes on the outside. Okay, so that's all I did. So I'm going to use black for the bottom because I felt like it. But then I'm going to grab these pieces, and they measured 1 7/8 by 3 7/8. Okay, and then I'm just simply going to put that on the side and glue those down. And that will also help hold the boxes together, and it's going to camouflage the fact that they are 4 separate boxes. I mean, obviously you see it from the top, but it won't look like it from the side. That's for sure. All right, so put that down. Isn't this cute? Isn't this just like so cute? My God. Who wouldn't love getting this as a gift? I mean, I don't know. I would. Okay. Almost done here. Okay. Okay. Those clamps help hold everything together too, so that you can glue these on nicely. Get the sides done. I won't do the lid on camera because I've already, done some lids. So just remember to make, for this, you are making 1 extra large lid, and you are making 4, you're making 1 extra large lid and 4 extra small boxes. All right. So then let's take these clamps off, and then we're going to cover the bottom. 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. I'm just going to use the black cardstock here because either way, this is going to be the bottom of the box. Nobody's going to see the patterned paper. Whether you use it as an organizer or you use it as a gift box or even both. Okay. So there you go. All right, so that's how I made that. I did have a request on how I did that, so that's how I did that. All right, so that is the mini gift box and or organizer. Don't forget to make the lid, because the lid will be a cute little tray that's decorative, but also if you turn it over, you have a nice little gift box as well. So this gift box, if you did make it as a gift box, would be like the lid is 4 1/4 by 4 1/4, and the whole thing is 2 inches tall. So it makes a cute little gift box. Okay, so I'm gonna make the lid, but I'll do that later. All right, and then last but definitely not least. So I was playing with this idea last night, and I thought that it was a cool idea. So I wanted to make a gift box that exploded. So what I did was I made the extra large lid for, or you know, with my explosion board. So I made the extra large box 12 by 12, and then I made the extra large lid 6.5 by 6.5. Okay, so then I thought, well, this would be a cute like gift box slash card kind of thing. So I had some extra graduation papers, and I had pieces and parts. So I went ahead and scored this for an extra large box, and then I just cut the corners off and did the corners so they fold in. So when you do this, you know, you'll have a box. So you could put gift in there, you could put money, you could leave the middle open and have it like be blank so you could write something on it. This is a gift box. This is like a present, okay? Or you could turn it into a present slash card kind of thing. Hope that makes sense. So on the back, I covered everything as if I was going to do it, but I left the back of it blank. So what the back of the box will be is blank right now, okay? So when it opens, obviously the little grad is upright. The back of the box, I didn't cover that one yet. So then I made the lid. So I made the lid with a tab like we did for the pizza box. This is the extra large lid that fits the extra large box. I made the tabs in the front to create the box, or to create the lid. And then back here, I created a tab. Now, the lid is a little bit wider than the box. The box will only be 4 by 4. The lid is 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. So I had to cut in just a little bit to 4 1/8, or excuse me, 1/8 of an inch, and then trim it so that it will fit the 4 by 4 box. I hope that makes sense because the lid is a little bit bigger, okay? Then what we're gonna do is gonna glue this back here, and we're going to center it so that the 4 by 4 page is about 1/8 of an inch in from the lid, because the lid is a little bit bigger, okay? Not in the score line, obviously. And then this is why I didn't cover the back of the box. So then I have this piece here that is going to cover the back of the box, and then that's going to cover the tab. Okay, so this is an attached lid, just like the pizza box, except for it's on the extra large box. Now, is this not a cool idea? I love it. Okay, so then we're going to create our lid. We're going to glue our tabs up. Glue our tabs up. Perfect. And then we're going to put pattern paper on the inside of those. And I just cut my little strips. They're 4 1/8 by an inch, because all the lids are 1 1/8 inches. And I cut 1/8 of an inch off to mat. So there you go. All right. Is this not a cute idea or what? I was like, well, that's kind of cool. Then you won't lose your lid, right? And because this is an explosion box, you know, it won't be completely closed like flush 4 by 4. It will have a little give because of the nature of the box. So using the extra large lid for it is perfect. Now, if you wanted to make it actually a box, and not, you know, have it explode, then just cut the tabs and make a box, and then put this on here, put the lid on, making the back part a tab, okay? And then all you do is close it up, and boom, you've got yourself a gift box that when you open it, boom, it explodes. Is that cool or what? Okay, I think, oh, I was gonna do this too. Okay, so let's close this up because I got to decorating it too. So we got to decorate it, right? Okay, so I had a tassel and I had a little piece of die cut left from this collection, which is a star. So I just backed it on a little bit of yellow because there was yellow, you know, stars in the lid. So I took my tassel and I wrapped it around a brad, punched it, you know, through the hole, and then the brad goes right over the tassel to hold it on. And then we're just going to stick that with pop dots right in the middle. There you go. So check that out. Now you've got this really cool graduation gift box that when you open it up will explode. So there you go. Okay, so that's all I have for today. I think that's probably enough. Hope I didn't bore you too much, and I hope you don't have any questions, but if you do, please let me know. Thank you so much for watching. I have more ideas coming. I just have to get more stuff ready, but this is what I've got for today. So we did our gift boxes. So we did our exploding gift box here. This is a 4x4x4 gift box. We did our organization box, so it is a really cute little gift box, but also can convert into an organizer after you're done. And then we also did our pizza box, and we did our different dividers. Let me get the other pizza box out here. And so there's that. And then we also did our gift boxes, just kind of our regular gift boxes, but we did it with my twist 6x6x3. We did an 8x8x2. And then we did the normal kind of, well, not normal, but 4x4x4 that you can do with this board. So you guys, you got to get this board. This board is so much fun to play with, and there's so many different things to do with it. I got more ideas, and I will be back soon with those. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Have a good day. Stay crafty.